Darkness swallows the city. The clock strikes 4 a.m. A silence heavier than death hangs in the air. Then, footsteps. Shadows move near the gates of the compound. Tonight, danger isn't knocking, it's breaking in. The target. Gaddafi's most loyal bodyguard, a man feared across Africa. His name whispered in both respect and fear. But at this cursed hour he will face betrayal, and the world will remember the night of blood. He wakes suddenly, sensing something wrong. Years of training sharpened his instincts. The air feels different, charged. He reaches for his pistol under the pillow. A faint creak on the wooden floor. His eyes narrow. He knows he is no longer alone. In the mirror, a silhouette flickers. 3 men dressed in black, moving silently. Assassins. Without hesitation, he rolls off the bed. A blade slices through the sheets where his body was. Sparks of adrenaline surge through him. He counters with lightning speed. His pistol fires once, one intruder falls, but the others don't retreat. They came prepared. Smoke grenades hiss. The room fills with choking fog. Vision fades. He fights blind, relying on sound. A whisper of breath. He strikes. A knife clashes against his arm. Blood drips. Pain fuels his fury. He flips the attacker over the table. Wood shatters, glass explodes. But more footsteps approach outside. Reinforcements. This isn't a robbery. This is an execution. He thinks of Gaddafi. He thinks of his oath. Protect him, even with your last breath. Tonight that oath will be tested. Bullets rip through the walls. He dives behind a steel cabinet. The smell of gunpowder fills the air. He loads his last magazine, his hands steady, his heart unshaken. If I die, he whispers, I die a soldier. He crashes through the window, shards slicing his skin. He lands hard on the ground below. Sirens wail in the distance. Dogs bark furiously. The compound is under siege. He runs into the darkness, barefoot, bleeding. But enemies follow close behind. Flashlights cut through the night. Gunfire echoes like thunder. He ducks behind a wall. He checks his ammo, only 2 bullets left. Breathing heavily, he plans. He cannot outrun them. He must outsmart them. He removes his shirt, ties it around a rock. He throws it into the bushes. A spray of bullets follows the decoy. He emerges from behind and ambushes. His blade finds a throat. Silence again. But then, he hears a voice he knows. A voice that freezes his blood. It's his own brother in arms. A man he once saved in battle. Now standing with the assassins. Forgive me, the traitor says. They paid me more than loyalty is worth. His heart breaks, but he doesn't flinch. Loyalty is worth more than life, he answers. The traitor raises his gun. A flash of light, a deafening shot, but the traitor collapses instead. Another guard had arrived, late but just in time. He nods once, silently. They fight side by side, back to back. 2 lions in the jungle of death. Blood stains the ground. Enemies fall like leaves in the wind, but the battle is far from over. Dawn begins to break. The first light of morning bleeds across the horizon. He is exhausted, wounded but unbroken. His comrade lies dead beside him now. Only he remains, the last guardian. He hears helicopters overhead, more enemies descending. He grips his weapon tighter. His eyes blaze with defiance. He charges forward, fearless. Bullets tear the ground around him, but he moves like a shadow. 1 shot, 1 kill. Another falls, another screams, but his strength wanes. His body bleeds heavily. He stumbles, drops to 1 knee, yet he refuses to surrender. He pulls the pin of his last grenade. For Gaddafi, he whispers. The explosion shakes the compound. Flames engulf the invaders. Silence follows. He lies on the ground, vision fading. His duty fulfilled, his life slipping away. But his spirit, unbroken. He smiles one last time. By sunrise, word spreads. The bodyguard fought until his last breath. His name becomes legend in Libya, a symbol of loyalty, a warrior who refused to betray. Children whisper his story in schools. Soldiers swear oaths in his name. Enemies tremble at the memory of his stand, for one man alone held back the darkness. And he did it at 4 a.m. Gaddafi stands silently at the grave. He does not cry, leaders do not cry, but his silence is heavier than tears. "You died for me," he mutters, "and I will never forget." Around the grave, guards bow their heads. They know they have lost more than a fighter. They lost a brother. They lost a lion. They lost the shield of the nation. The sun rises fully. A new day begins. But for those who lived that night, the memory will never fade. 4 a.m. will forever be cursed, for it was the hour of betrayal, the hour of blood, the hour when a man became legend, a bodyguard, but more than that, a soldier of eternity. Some men live long but die forgotten. Others live short but die eternal. This was one of them. His courage still burns in whispers. His loyalty still echoes in history. His sacrifice still bleeds in the soil. He was more than flesh and blood. He was the wall between chaos and order. And though he fell, his story rose higher than the stars. Years later, young recruits are told his tale. Be like him, commanders say. Stand when others run. Fight when others fall. His name is carved into stone, his grave covered with flowers each year. Families bring their sons to bow before it. Learn loyalty, they whisper. Learn courage. Learn sacrifice. The night of 4 a.m. is reenacted in songs, in poems, in the hearts of the people. His spirit walks among them, the protector, even in death. Enemies never forgot that night. They still shiver at the memory. One man, they say, held back an army. And they are right. Loyalty cannot be bought. Courage cannot be bribed. Sacrifice cannot be erased. That night proved it. That man proved it. His blood wrote history. His fight carved legend. His silence screamed louder than guns. And his death gave life to a nation. For the shield may fall, but the idea lives forever. Remember his name. Remember his oath. Remember his last stand. At 4 a.m., when the world slept, he was awake. He was ready. He was loyal. He was immortal. He was the bodyguard. The smoke cleared, but the silence remained heavy. The compound looked like a battlefield. Walls shattered, windows blown open. The ground painted red with sacrifice. His body lay still, but his spirit hovered in the air. Soldiers approached cautiously, eyes full of grief. None dared to speak first. The air itself seemed sacred. Even birds were silent. Nature itself bowed in mourning. Gaddafi ordered his body to be carried with honor. No coffin of wood, no box of steel. Only a flag wrapped around him. The flag of the land he died protecting. Soldiers marched slowly, heads lowered. The sound of drums echoed across the city. A farewell, not of sadness, but of pride. A warrior's departure. Civilians lined the streets, throwing flowers. Mothers lifted their children high, saying, "Look, this is what bravery looks like." Children's eyes widened, engraving the image forever. Even the old wept, remembering battles past. For in his death he reminded them of their strength, of the cost of freedom. His story was carried beyond Libya's borders. Across Africa, whispers spread of the loyal guardian. Men in villages spoke his name around fires. Soldiers in distant lands saluted his sacrifice. His legend crossed deserts and seas. He became more than a bodyguard. He became a symbol, a man who stood when betrayal surrounded him, a man who bled yet did not bow, a man who proved loyalty is the strongest weapon. Songs were written, ballads sung in marketplaces, his name carved on walls, his image painted on murals. Children drew him in their notebooks, a hero without a crown, but with a story greater than kings. His memory refused to die, because legends do not die. They are reborn with every telling, and his was told again and again. Who sent the assassins? Some whispered it was the West, others said it was traitors within. Some blamed money, others power, but the truth remained buried in blood. Only one fact was clear. They failed, because though they killed the man, they could not kill his oath. They could not kill his story. They could not kill his legacy. Years later, young fighters trained with his name on their lips. Remember him, commanders shouted. Fight with his fire. His tactics studied, his courage copied. His loyalty became the golden rule of the guards. Never betray, never retreat, never forget. His story shaped a new generation, not with fear, but with pride, because they saw that even in death, victory can be claimed. Old men in tea shops still whispered, he fought an army alone. At 4 a.m., he stood against the world. Children listened, wide-eyed. To them, he was larger than life, a hero carved from steel and fire. His grave became a shrine. Flowers never faded there. People came from distant cities to bow. Some prayed for courage, some prayed for loyalty, some prayed for revenge, and all found strength in his story, because courage like his is eternal. History books wrote his name in bold. Leaders quoted his words, "If I die a soldier." That line became immortal, etched on walls, repeated in speeches. It became the heartbeat of resistance, because one man proved an army can fail, but loyalty never does. One man fell, yet rose eternal, for legends never die. The world will always remember 4 a.m., the hour of betrayal, the hour of courage, the hour of sacrifice, the hour when a bodyguard became immortal. His shadow still walks in the silence of dawn. His spirit still watches over his people. His loyalty still burns in every soldier's chest. And his story will echo through time, forever.